How does a group go from welcomed guests to enemies of the state? Exodus 1 is a masterclass in the mechanics of fear. A family of 70 becomes a nation of thousands. A new king rises who doesn't remember Joseph. And what starts as paranoia escalates into genocide. This is the chapter that sets the stage for Moses. Let's walk through it.
It all starts with the number 70. That's how many people entered Egypt in Genesis 46, Joseph's family, invited as honored guests during the famine. They weren't an army, they were an extended family. But Exodus 1 is a case study on how fear transforms allies into threats. And it begins with one simple fact: they multiplied. Generations pass. The small family grows and grows and grows. The text says they filled the land. This wasn't overnight. It was a slow, steady demographic shift that became impossible to ignore. What was once a minority community is now a massive population. And that growth, it lights the fuse for the conflict that's coming.
A new king rises in Egypt, one who doesn't know Joseph. He has zero institutional memory. He doesn't see old allies. He sees a national security risk. And he creates a narrative of threat based on potential, not action. What if war breaks out? What if they join our enemies and fight against us? Notice, they haven't done anything, but Pharaoh successfully frames a domestic population as an existential danger. Fear becomes policy. Pharaoh's first strategy: control through exhaustion. Strip their rights, install brutal overseers, force them to build supply cities, Pithom and Ramesses. The goal isn't just construction, it's to wear them down so much they stop having children, break their spirit, crush their future. It's calculated, it's cruel, and it completely backfires. Here's the incredible irony. The more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied. The harder Pharaoh pushed, the stronger the people became. You'd think this would make him rethink the strategy, but no. The regime doubles down. The labor gets harsher. The cruelty escalates from strategic. Now it escalates from public oppression to secret genocide. Pharaoh summons 2 Hebrew midwives, Shiphrah and Puah, and he gives them a chilling order. When you help Hebrew women give birth, if it's a boy, kill him. If it's a girl, let her live. It's a calculated attempt to wipe out the next generation from the inside. The most vulnerable are now the target. But Pharaoh underestimated these women. Shiphrah and Puah face an impossible choice: obey the most powerful man on earth or obey a higher moral law. And they choose defiance. This is the first act of resistance. It's quiet, no protests, no speeches, just profound civil disobedience. They let the boys live. When Pharaoh demands answers, they give him a clever lie. Hebrew women are vigorous. They give birth before we even arrive. It's brilliant. It's risky. And God honors it. The text says God was kind to the midwives and gave them families of their own. Secrecy failed. Labor failed. So Pharaoh takes the mask off. He issues a public decree to all his people. Every Hebrew boy that is born, you must throw into the Nile. The secret plot has become state-sponsored public violence. He's turned the entire Egyptian population into enforcers of genocide. The Nile, the source of life, becomes the instrument of death. And right here, at the darkest moment, the stage is set for a savior. His name will be Moses. We've walked from multiplication to paranoia, from oppression to genocide, and from fear to resistance. Before you go, sit with these questions. First, Pharaoh created a narrative of fear based on what if, not reality. Where in your life are you operating out of fear of what might happen instead of responding to what actually is? Second, Shiphrah and Puah chose to obey God over Pharaoh, even at great personal risk. When have you been faced with a choice between human authority and moral conviction? And what did you choose? 2 questions. Breathe. Let them settle.